All right, so welcome, Greg Boire, to the match. Nice to see your face again. I know we've been going back and forth with some emails, but again, nice to see your face. And how's everything been with you going okay recently? All right?
Yeah, things are going real well as can be expected, I guess, Zach,
Yeah.
trying to keep a nice, healthy routine.
Yeah, you were telling me, so you eating healthy, or you're going for some walks, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so, as I often tell people, I eat well and I eat poorly, so I mix it up
Yeah.
that way, need our little comfort food during these challenging times. But I keep a healthy routine. I try to work out something every day for about 45 minutes. Like today, I went for a twice a week. I go for a 5 mile run, and other days I do, some push-ups, some biking, some elliptics, stuff like that, trying to stay in somewhat reasonable shape.
Okay, so you're keeping that competitive physique, I guess.
Yeah, but the scale keeps going in the wrong direction because I'm used to spending so much time on the court,
I know.
But I know once I get back on the court and that'll all come off. So.
All right, well, Greg, I really appreciate you doing this. So this is the match. It's the Monkland Tennis Club's online platform where the club sits down with influential people in the tennis community in and around Montreal and give a bit of a deeper insight to what's going on at the Monkland Tennis Club. And I thought nowhere better off to start than with you. And for people that don't know who you are Greg Boire. You're the current head pro and coach at the Hampstead Tennis Club during the outdoor season. And of course, at the indoor season here at Nuns Island. Again, people who are not aware, you're somewhat of a Monkland Tennis Club legend. I mean, I was looking at the wall of champions, Greg, and your name comes out there quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're so men's singles champ, 1979, 1981, 1983, all the way through 1990. You got doubles. You're the doubles champ, 78 to 83, and then 85 to 87. I have no idea if you're even aware of all these, but. And then mixed doubles, can't forget that, 1980, and then 85 to 87, and 95 again. So your name is, I mean, it's taken over our board. There's nobody even close to that many times. And that's something you should be proud of.
Well, lots of good memories from the Monkland, that's for sure.
So how old were you when you started there?
Well, things have changed over the years. Back when I first started, you had to be 9 years of age.
Okay.
To join the club. Kids were not allowed in under the age of 9. But I was fortunate enough at the time that my father was the president of the club. So I got in when I was 8. But I was only allowed to be there for the Saturday clinic.
Right.
And so I was allowed there from 9 a.m. till 12 noon Saturday mornings at the age 8. And then, but that was it. So I guess picked up my first racket when I was.
Okay, so really all started there for you. Wow.
Pardon me?
So really all started there at the club for you. That's where you first began.
It did. My parents were avid tennis players. They grew up in the, some members will remember this, the Stewart Club way over in Outremont. And then they were members of the, that's where they met. They were members of the old NDG Tennis Club, which used to be where the Décarie Expressway is now. So they were members there in the early 60s, and then they tore down the club to build the Décarie Expressway, I think around 66 or 65, something like that, and they moved over to the Monkland. And so they were avid tennis players, and so that's where it started.
That's unbelievable. And so what was the vibe back in the day? So you're saying juniors were definitely more limited.
It was pretty amazing. Like I said, I stepped in there the first time I was 8 years of age, and the Monkland Tennis Club had the national champion, I think, under 12 in the boys, 12s, 14s, and 18s. And in the girls, I think we had the 14 and 16 national champions all playing at the Monkland.
Wow.
So it was a great scene to walk into at the age of 8.
It must have been like, I don't know, like including myself. So I've taught at the club in the past and now I'm managing, but my history obviously doesn't go back as far as yours does. But people, for you just to say that, holding national championships like that, And then, of course, they held the Canadian Open there in '64. So I was talking to a couple of members about that. You know, you had Roy Emerson who came to play and Fred Stolle. I mean, you guys, you had some greatness that really played at the Monkland Tennis Club court. So there really is quite a bit of history at the club.
Very much, very much. I was, like I said, the last one I think that the Canadian Open was there was in '67.
Yeah.
And again, I was only 8 at that time, so I didn't get a chance to see them play. As an 8-year-old punk, I was allowed to play Saturday mornings, but once the Canadian Open moved in, I was allowed to step foot in the club.
Wow. That's
people told me about those. And of course, the pictures are up at the club.
Yeah, they are. And the club is going to try to do more and more to commemorate those amazing moments and try to recreate those as we move forward as well. So just pretty cool talking to people like you who've been around there for so many years. You know, we still have plenty of members who have been around for quite a bit, but it's great for somebody like myself who's definitely in, you know, a few newer terms now and not as many years to realize what the club's all about and what took place over the years. So that's really cool. You would you mentioned at the beginning, Greg, that you know, you're not used to not holding a racket for this long. Like, when was the last time you've played now? Like, how it's been weeks?
So I haven't had a racket. This is going on week number 7 of our club shutting down. Our club shut down on March the 15th.
Okay.
So I haven't held a racket since then. But I've gone through, as a few people know, I've gone through a couple of hip replacement surgeries in the last decade. I had one done not this past November, the November before, November of 2018. So I was off for 7-8 weeks then, and the one that I had back in 2007, I was also off for about 7-8 weeks without holding a racket.
Yeah. So you've gone through this before, because myself, you know, I've played a bit in the past, and I can't remember not playing for this long, or just, you know, even picking up a racket, just want to play for half an hour, teaching a bit. It's definitely bizarre, you know. I mean, you don't really realize what you have till it's taken from you sometimes, and I miss it terribly right now. So we're hoping that everything gets back to normal quickly. For sure.
Well, Zach, you could definitely play some tennis. So I remember, when was the last time you had a racket in your hand?
Yeah, I mean, I was just teaching a bit in the winter, teaching some tennis privately, on and off, but it's definitely been probably close to 2 months now. Yeah, that happened with the rackets. Yeah. What about competitively? When was your last competitive match, Greg, you'd say, that you played?
So the last one was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I played in the 55s senior nationals over at was being held our category at Hampstead.
Okay.
So basically, I played that one. I played one 6 years before that, and 3 years. So I've actually played 3 tournaments in the last 12 years. You know, so the competitive juices are not there, are not really there. Once I get into it, I really enjoy it. You know, I've always enjoyed the process of, you know, getting in shape, hitting a lot of balls, being around the guys, you know, which is great.
Yeah.
If, you know, once you get the chance to play the vets and that, is you get to see guys you went through juniors with, you know, and you know, lots of good memories, guys all across the country, you know, guys I traveled with to Europe, guys I played a little bit on the tour with. And my last match, actually, 3 years ago, was against a guy named Nigel O'Rourke. I played him over, it was the quarterfinals, the nationals. This is after I'd beaten the first seed the round before, because I hadn't been playing, so I wasn't seeded. And I played Nigel, who was the 3rd seed, and we had a great match. And it brought us back to our junior days, because we always had great matches in the juniors. It went to the usual 3rd set. We're playing, it was in mid-August. It's about 95 degrees out there, but we're both in pretty good shape. Yeah. And somehow or another, I managed to win the 2nd set in a tiebreaker after he killed me in the 1st set, 6-2. And in the 3rd set, I get my game going, and I'm up 5-3 in the 3rd. Yeah. And I still remember the shot. He's serving at 15-30, and I had my forehand down the line, wide open. You know the feeling, Zach? Yeah. Wide open. And I haven't played any tennis, so a little chokey, on the forehand down the line. The head was a bit late snapping, and I missed the shot down the line. got to 30. I'll make a long story short. He beat me 7-5 in the third set. But lots of fun, you know, lots of fun.
I find it incredible talking, you know, to anybody who's played at a higher level. You're telling me you've played 3 competitive matches or 3 tournaments in who knows how many years, and you can still pinpoint. You can go directly to one point in time, tell me the score, what the situation was, break it down and tell me this is where you won or lost the match. And that is uncanny like any other sport. That is just amazing to see.
Yeah, I'm sure you have some like that. We all do, eh?
Yeah, some that I don't want to remember so well, but